Good afternoon, thank you, Phil.
Robertson to break.
Should be a good match. Higgins and Robertson. It's the 9th time, Peter, they've played in the Championship League, and the 3rd time they've played in the winners' group. On the previous 2 occasions, Robertson has won 3-1, 2019, and all the way back in 2010. As for the overall head-to-head, it's a measure of Neil Robertson's skill and ability that he leads Higgins 10-8. That's in tournaments outside of the Championship League. And perhaps the most notable win was one of the most recent, 10-9 in the final of the Tour Championship last year, when Higgins led 9-4 and disintegrated in front of our eyes. Yeah, it was an unbelievable finish. John just couldn't get over the line in the end. I think Higgins' inability to get the job done that night was caused by an amalgamation of disappointment over the course of that season. He lost in several finals, including the English Open final, 9-8 from 8-6 up against Neil Robertson. Speaking to John earlier, and he said he'd altered his cue a little bit, made it a little bit shorter, trying to get himself a little bit more compact, a little bit better control. It's funny, Phil, how when you get older, when you're young, you just pick the cue up, you just play. When you get older, you start tinkering with things. You're trying to look for solutions, sometimes for problems that aren't really there. That's very true. I think with Higgins, though, he's been tinkering for many, many years. Wow, that was close. That was very close. Yeah, when John Higgins first won the world title back in 1998, his bridge hand was way back from the cue ball. He's moved it considerably closer over the years. Commits the first potentially costly error in this frame. Yeah, it's a weird one though with the cues, because like in years gone by, people just had the same cue their entire career, and now every time you see some of these players, they've got a new cue. I'm amazed how quickly they can get used to them.
One.
You know, Dominic Dale made the same point yesterday, as did Stephen Hallworth in commentary. Yeah, the entire ethos with cues has changed. The point I made then, and I'll repeat it, if you listened yesterday, I apologise for repetition, but the great Fred Davis, who won the World Championship on multiple occasions in the late 40s and 50s, he turned professional at the age of 16, played his last match as a professional at the age of 78, and used the same cue throughout.
Three.
When I first started covering the circuit, Peter, if a player was using a new cue, it's because their old one had been damaged some way. That's the only way they'd ever think about switching.
Yeah, Stephen Hendry, I don't think he was ever the same player after his cue got damaged.
And intrinsically, Hendry's original cue, which he enjoyed so much success with, wasn't a great cue. If anyone else tried to use it, they'd probably think it was bent, hadn't got a lot of power in it.
12.
Just ordinary. And yet for him, it was like an extension of his right arm.
Meanwhile, Neil quietly going about his business.
19.
Still in prime position. Like a little
20.
practice routine. Spread the reds out around the black, and black goes in both corner pockets. Don't hold out much hope for Higgins here, I'm afraid.
Just to conclude the conversation on cues, Peter,
27.
are you still using your original, or how many have you had in your career?
I'm
28.
on one. I've got one, the same one. I can't play with that one, I can't get a new one.
Old school.
Yeah, I'm still on that. I'm still on a standard elk tip, because there's hundreds of different tips these days, and chalks, and yeah.
35. 36.
Of course you do have to change in snooker, you can't stand still. And one of the great innovations of recent years has been the introduction of the chalk from Finland, Taum, which I think has improved the game out of all recognition. It doesn't quite eliminate, but it certainly drastically reduces kicks and big bounces. Presumably you're using the Taum.
I am, yes. But to be honest, I've only just started using it. Because I've tried a few of their early versions, but the actual last one, the newest one, yeah, it seems very good.
43.
So were you one of those players who, with the original Taum, were a little concerned it might create a few more miscues?
Yeah, and I think I wasn't necessarily say it's the chalk, but if you're not a fantastic cues to go with the chalk, that did help. And because I've got a slight sort of
44.
dip down at the end, yeah, then I was miscuing too much. But yeah, the new version is very good.
Yeah, we in commentary used to be quite obsessed with kicks at one point, and then all of a sudden they seem to disappear from the landscape. Occasionally one crops up, but it's a real rarity these days.
Yeah, and that can only be a good thing. You know, you want the only reason you miss a ball is because you've missed a ball.
49.
Robertson there missing his intended cannon, but I think he might be on a red anyway, which is really tough.
Yeah, and it's a must get where the ball's at. The counter attack is on if he doesn't get it.
Robertson, 49.
And it was close, but it's not there.
One.
All great players clear up a lot, but John Higgins has got a deserved reputation as one of the finest players to wipe out a deficit in a frame with a tight turning clearance. He's done it so often on so many big occasions, Peter.
Yeah, I think if I had to have any player in the game to clear up from 50, 60 behind, I think I would go for John Higgins.
9.
Which made that defeat even more bizarre to Neil Robertson, that he couldn't get over the line, because he's made a career out of getting over the line from any situation.
I'm a massive Higgins fan. How can you not be? But you hear people say, well,
16.
It'll be okay when he wins one. All of the stuff that's gone before will be forgotten. But there's no guarantee
17.
He will win again. He should. It's a little bit like the situation with Lazowski. He should win, but no one's guaranteed to do anything.
No, there's so many good players on the tour these days that nothing's guaranteed anymore.
I do agree that if John Higgins wins tournaments again, the scar tissue from last season and
24.
all of those final defeats will be healed, definitely. But it's a matter of whether he does win again. That's the point.
Taking the slightly more awkward red, trying to leave an angle probably to disturb
25.
3 reds next to the pink. Probably just one good cannon away from winning the frame. Squeeze through the gap for the red just to the right of the pink.
32.
Got to be careful he doesn't kiss the pink on the way past. Doesn't want to kiss the pink having potted the red and land in no man's land for position.
33.
Yeah, played it well. Does the bottom red go of these two? If it does, it'll open up the other red.
39.
He pots this red in the middle, otherwise he's going to have to leave himself a little angle on the pink.
$40.
And I presume it must go.
45.
Hasn't he taken these terrifically well? So precise. So well planned out.
46.
Yeah, inch perfect every shot. Made life so much easier for himself. Now probably down for the blue. Easy to get on the yellow
53.
from the blue.
$54.
Let me quickly tell you, also displaying a good end game, Karen Wilson just cleared up with 63 to win the first from Judd Trump on table 2.
$60. $62.
The yellow takes Higgins 13 ahead, so green and brown will be sufficient.
$65.
Well, a flawless clearance.
$69. $74. $80. $87 on the
For the rest of the
John
players
Higgins.
in the group, that was ominous. John Higgins at his best. Neil Robertson made 49, Mr. Tricky Red, and Higgins did the rest. He leads 1-0, looking good. John Higgins, been there, done that, worn the waistcoat, and he remains in his mid-40s a formidable player.
Thank you. The second frame. John Higgins to break.
Wresting the Bet Victor Championship League title from him will be a troublesome task. Higgins has actually won this tournament 3 times since 2017. Originally successful in 2017, retained the title the following year, and then recaptured the title last year.
That's an impressive record. It's a very loose safety. Red gone over the corner pocket. The pot no problem, but pink pot's in the middle, black pot's in the corner, so should be able to get on a colour as well.
1.
Now that shows how well he thinks. A lot of players there might have tried to be too ambitious with position. He realised his limitations, anyone's limitations, and he's left himself a pressure pink, but he's backed himself to knock it in.
It's a very tough shot, this, across the table from where the hand is resting on the side cushion. Oh, struck it beautifully.
1 minute, please, John.
John Pellew, who was the referee for the Welsh Open final recently, just asking John Higgins to be patient while Pellew tries to work out where to put the pink. The pink spot is occupied, I believe, so it needs to go nearest its own spot in a direct line with the black. While John is doing this, I can tell you that with 3 Championship League titles, John Higgins is the joint most successful player in this tournament's history, together with another player currently playing, Judd Trump.
8.
He won the Championship League in 2009, 2014 and 2016.
$15. 16.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise you if either of those two were out on their own on 4 then, come tomorrow night.
And I think given the cutthroat format, the fact you have to win so
23.
many matches in your qualifying group, as it were, then the winners group, it's one of the toughest tournaments you can win.
$24.
Shot from there, John there, just making sure he got top side of the blue.
The one thing with this tournament, Peter, I'm sure you'll agree, you can't relax at any moment, can you? Not like you can build a 9-2 lead in a best of 19 or anything like that. At any point, you are vulnerable to defeat.
Yeah, in this format, the game is never ever won or lost until you're shaking hands. You see lots of matches
29.
be 2 down with 3 to play, and someone comes back and wins. And they do often say only one shot can change a match.
Yeah, well, in the last match of the first session, over on table 2, John Higgins was 2-0 down against Stuart Bingham. 1-3-2. In that match, he made breaks of 56,
30.
83, 100 and 108. There, though, is the first positional misjudgment we've seen from him in this match.
Yeah, you could see him just stopping his tracks. I think he knew straight away he'd overdone it. Can't see him going for the long blue, but you don't know. You thought it'd be more like a safety shot, try and get his opponent in trouble.
John Higgins, 30.
That's another trait of top-class players when they do run out of position, rather than get annoyed and self-destructive and play a stupid shot. They just step away, cool down, and then play a good safety.
Yeah, and he's covered the red on the right-hand side cushion to stop the easy cross-double safety shot. Always a chance here. Neil could leave a shot to nothing for Higgins. That's a pretty good reply though from Neil. Be careful here. He's got to try and get that wire as close to the ball cushion as he can himself. Avoiding the yellow, blue and red in the middle of the table. Oh, wow.
If you want a logo put on your waistcoat, Peter, and you want someone to thread the eye of a needle, just ask John.
Yeah. I'm still amazed by the shot Neil Robertson played this morning, where he screwed back off that red and through the off the side cushion, through the gap of the two reds for the black in the opposite pocket. It was absolutely amazing. Tough safety shot for Higgins. Got to avoid the red on the left hand side cushion if he's trying to go back to baulk, but also doesn't want to just clip a red over the corner pocket. For the pot here. Ooh, very close. Tried to play it with an element of safety. Look how close he got to the pot. Tremendous cueing. Neil's been very hit and miss so far. He's played some really good stuff on occasions and then been way off with some of his pots.
Yeah, good way to put it, hit and miss. Oh, that was nicely done by Higgins.
What?
Not just potting the red, but look where he is on the blue. On the correct side of it, giving himself plenty of options.
Nice control through the gap now for this red. The
Six.
black sat there waiting. Already 36 points in front.
Seven.
Very well. Just playing a little cannon on the reds and pink if he thinks he needs to. Oh, surely he hasn't sneaked behind the red though.
14.
Oh, has he? What is it? Just clipped the red on the way past, but hit the pink full ball. Still got a chance into the green pocket.
Ooh,
it had low, but it's in. Played it confidently, didn't overhit it. Just trusted his cueing. Fraction harder, and that wouldn't have dropped.
$22.
Yeah, good shot, kept dead still.
29.
Delivering the cue there.
$30.
60 in front, so Black will put him 67 in front with 67 on.
Now, normally this would be quite
37.
an intimidating shot, but the balls across this top cushion have been going in quite comfortably. Oh, but not maybe at that
Johnny
pace.
Higgins,
I thought he might play that one
37.
slower.
Yeah, I agree, Phil. Just knock it in, just roll it in. Just enough pace for it to get to the pocket and the frame's done. Still a mountain to climb for Neil, but he's hanging in there.
In a few moments, it's going to be 1-1 on the other table. Judd Trump fighting back to level the scores against Kyron Wilson. And that's a very nice way to put the lid on a frame. Really well cued.
Yeah, again, didn't overhit it, just trusted his cue action. Kept everything still. Don't think we'll see Neil come back to the table.
8.
To use Eurovision parlance, 0 point for
Johnny
Neil
Higgins.
Robertson in frame 2, and 0 frames. John Higgins has 2, 1 more required for victory. John Higgins, things have really perked up for him. If you recall, this morning he lost his first match 3-0 to Kyron Wilson. Then he was 2-0 down against Stuart Bingham. We were starting to think, is the grip of the Scot on the title starting to slip? Not anymore. He came back to beat Bingham 3-2, and now he leads Neil Robertson 2-0. Just to say, on table 2, it is officially 1-1 now, Trump and Wilson. Trump in the second frame, making a 1:08 break. Now, John Higgins yet to earn his place in the Champion of Champions, but the likes of Ronnie O'Sullivan, Judd Trump and Mark Allen are going to be there. The event will take place from the 13th to the 19th of November. That's Monday to Sunday. University of Bolton Stadium, home of Bolton Wanderers Football Club. Tickets on sale March 13. And to get those tickets, which are quite a hot ticket actually, especially for the latter matches, go to championofchampions.snooker.co.uk.
Robertson to break.
And this is probably the keenest contested year I've ever seen for the Champion of Champions. So many different winners and so many top players. Not one comps yet.
So the winner here, unless it's Judd Trump, will be the 10th player in. Women's World Champion, that's coming up shortly, who will be crowned there in Bangkok. That's 11. Then you've got WST Classic 12, World Six Reds 13, Tour Championship 14, 2 places, winner and runner-up from the World Championship. So you've got 16 there, even before the start of next season. I think someone will be disappointed. Obviously, you're getting off a priority list based on the prestige of tournaments. But what we do know for sure is that the Ranking Championship League winner, which is going to be held in the summer, and the Invitation Championship League winner, being held right now, they are guaranteed. Ronnie O'Sullivan, as the Champion of Champions himself, is guaranteed to be back. The Masters gets in, of course it does. Judd Trump, Mark Allen winning the World Grand Prix and the UK Championship, he'll be there. But merely by winning a tournament, normally you're in. Quite often we've had to fill up the 16-player field of the rankings. So normally if you win an event, you're in. This time, I reckon, if we keep having different winners, some tournament winners will miss out.
Yeah, I agree, Phil. As the ball was going towards the pocket, I don't know whether you agree, Peter, I thought that might catch the near jaw and stay out. Yeah, and I think he thought exactly the same. He sort of didn't move, he was a bit hesitant, as if he thought he'd missed it. Yeah, I noticed there's quite a big entry in the Women's World Championship, even though it's been held in Thailand.
Five.
If you weren't with us yesterday, congratulations to Bai Yulu, Chinese player who made a 1-2-7 break in the round-robin phase of the Women's World Championship. That's the highest ever break in that tournament. I noticed she won again in the round-robin today, so maybe She's a star of the future.
12. 13.
Of course, here we're looking at one half of the winning partnership in the World Mixed Doubles. Neil Robertson partnering Mink Naturet to win that.
Twenty. 21.
Yeah, I'm trying to take a little bit more care here. Doesn't want to make an error like he did in frame 1.
$28. 29.
It's a nicely struck shot. Round of 2 cushions, the red at the bottom of the pack will go. Just looking to see if he can leave it and go through the gap down for a blue or ball colour and open some reds up, or if he just wants to leave himself straight.
$36. $37.
Now, where's his next red coming from? Well, the red at the bottom of the pack will go into the middle pocket, and in potting this should free
44.
at least 1, possibly 2 other reds up.
$45.
This has been impressive so far from Neil in this break. Just want to be careful he doesn't overrun. Doesn't want to snooker himself on that bottom red. And didn't want to really hamper himself with the
52.
red over to the side either. And this is a carbon copy of frame 1, Phil.
52.
It's not the lead you build, it's how the balls are placed when you leave the table. Now, if they were awkward, a 52-point lead would be very handy. But they're not awkward. Nothing's awkward.
Yeah, I've noticed as well that when most of the times when Neil has missed, he's caught the ball too thin, which tells me that he's not timing the ball properly, he's not getting the cue through at the correct speed.
Thank you. Good job. 1.
Yeah, it's a nice shot, opened everything up.
8.
Knew that couldn't really go wrong.
Nine.
Couple of slightly awkward reds, but not really safe.
I'll tell you what, Peter, if Higgins could clear up right here,
14.
he stays on this table to take on Jack Lazowski next. If he were to win this match and the next against Jack, with 3 points, he'd be well on the way to the semi-final playoffs.
$15.
Yeah, and a big advantage to stay out there if you've just won a match. Confidence is high, queuing's good. And especially if you can pull off another clearance, they always make you feel $1 million.
21. $22.
Yeah, nothing to do with the cue ball again. Probably just... Oh, he's going for topspin. Yeah, nice little cannon. Back out for the pink off this red, I should imagine.
28. $29.
With a break of 83, Judd Trump now leads Corin Wilson 2-1. That's over on table 2. If you want to see any of the table 2 action, of course, it's always available on matchroom.live or the Matchroom Multisport YouTube channel. I think this group, Peter, is best described as an embarrassment of riches.
35.
You don't know where to look.
Yeah, everywhere you look, someone's
Yes.
queuing sweetly. Slightest mistake is getting punished. It's a phenomenal lineup.
Best ever. I've been involved in the Championship League from day one. So has Dave Hendon, and we both agree this is the best ever winners group.
Okay. 36.
There was a dream scenario in Group 7. Ronnie O'Sullivan originally had entered. Had he played in Group 7 and won it? Wow. Sadly, O'Sullivan withdrew. But this is still very star-studded. Now this is the most tricky red about to be
43.
removed. When this is gone, everything is sitting pretty.
Oh, so, yeah.
Yeah, and will he just pull it back for the pink? Leave the cue ball out in the open. Make the pot slightly more difficult, but if he gets it, massive reward. Yeah,
44.
he's just let the cue ball run away slightly. No, he's got a tricky pink into the middle with guaranteed position. Or probably a slightly easier black, but position a lot harder. What's the choice here, Phil?
Well, he potted, if you remember, a really good pressure pink earlier in the match to the same pocket. As you say, position from that is going to be, for sure, position from the black, which itself is not an easy pot, is not guaranteed.
Yeah, I think it's got to be the pink myself. If he pots the pink, he's won the frame. Guaranteed. If he pots the black, he needs two good things. He needs a good pot on the black and position. Well, we'll see.
Obviously trying to avoid the
51.
jaws of the yellow pocket. At least it's come out and give him some kind of look.
Yeah, with that though, I know he would have probably lost the frame, he'd missed the pink, but if he potted the pink, he definitely won.
John Higgins, 51.
As the red was going across the table there, I thought if the red traps in the jaws and leaves it over the pocket, Robertson's in to win. So Higgins will be relieved at least. The red ran safe.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if he doesn't find himself in trouble though. Red behind the black, white down the table. Yeah, that was inevitable. Now, can Higgins get this safe?
Thank you, John.
It's hard to see the red not kissing the black when he comes off the black cushion to hit the red. Oh, that's a disaster, because that's a free ball as well.
Foul and a miss. Free ball for Neil Robertson.
Now, is this a situation, Peter, where he might consider asking Higgins to play from where the white came to rest? I know that the free ball is there. He's playing this knowing full well he's going to get the snooker anyway, should he miss.
Yeah, I think that's why he's taking it. He knows it's guaranteed. If he pots it, he's got a chance to win, but if he doesn't, he's no worse off. Actually fancied him to pot that. I'm a little surprised he missed it as a free shot. And in fact, he didn't even get the snooker. So that was not a good shot by Neil. Yeah, not quite again. I figure that whoever pots this red is probably going to win the frame.
Didn't he play that one well and cleverly? Lots of topspin to hold the cue ball down there, right in behind the black.
Yeah, superb control. John now just got to trust the luck. Try and make a nice contact on the red, nice thick contact if he can. Send the red round the table. Don't miss the red. Yeah, no, is it going to go safe? It doesn't look like it.
From here, Robertson should get his first frame on the board.
One.
And although he didn't want to land there, at least he's got choices.
Yeah, big shot though, the green. Yeah, definitely going to be on the yellow. Well, I say definitely going to be on the yellow. I didn't realise he had to make the cannon, but he's played that very well. That was an excellent shot. And should be a frame winner.
6.
Yeah, John, I'm sure he'll be thinking maybe he should have gone for the pink now. He's lost the frame anyway.
So with the
9.
disappearance of the green, Robertson is 14 ahead. Higgins knows the Australian still needs brown and blue.
$13.
A little too close for comfort. Judging the potting angle here with cue ball and object ball so close together, that's quite demanding. Not a certainty this, Peter.
No, it's certainly not as easy as it should have been. I think the pace he's going to have to play as well. It will probably finish over the pocket if he doesn't paw it.
You called it.
Robertson,
He did it.
13.
So blue, pink and black for John Higgins to force a respotted black. As you can see from the replay, that was so close to dropping.
$5.
Yes, we could be going for a respot.
$11.
Yeah, get the coin out, referee.
John
69
Higgins,
points
18.
each. An extra black is required to determine who will win the third frame between Robertson and Higgins. Now we've determined, Peter, with regard to use of cues, you're old school. What about with these respotted blacks? What do you do?
Like to call, John.
Yeah, I think you have
Tails
to go
gone,
side to
tails
side
it
these
is.
days. It's just the easiest one to judge. You're just trying to get the cue ball fractionally higher up than the than the black and leave them on opposite side cushions. A little bit of drag to keep the white ball on line going down the table. Yeah, something like that. That's pretty good. John, don't know if he dare risk taking the white all the way down the table and having a go at the double. Yeah, it's risky.
Always looking for value though, Higgins. He knows that Robertson's potting from distance hasn't been as sharp as normal.
Yeah, and he's got down a little bit quickly for this.
7.
Peter, what do we know? That was straight in, no fuss, no mess. His best pot of the day. Neil Robertson, thanks to a respotted black, wins the third frame. John Higgins, though, still leading 2-1. We join table 2 just as the match is coming to a conclusion. In fact, that is the last shot, unless he flukes the red, Judd Trump. He's played very nicely in this match. He was 1-0 down to Kyren Wilson. Since then, though, breaks of 108, 83. In this one, he's dominated without making a break of any great substance.
32.
But he spotted some really good balls. Now, bear in mind, Trump started off with a 3-1 win over Zhao Guodong after losing the first frame. And it's exactly the same score progression here. 2 wins out of 2, as we see some Trump exhibition stuff.
40.
For now, the 3-time Championship League winner finds himself at the top of the table. The draw was made today for the WST Classic, a world ranking event coming up right here in Leicester, actually, later this month. Don't know whether these two are aware of the draw, but Neil Robertson, he's paired with Luke Simmons in the first round. John Higgins actually given quite a tough assignment, I thought. He plays Michael White.
Yeah, Michael's been playing some pretty good stuff since he got back on the tour this season. Be a tough game for Higgins. And both players need a good run if they want to get in the Tour Championships.
Well, you say that, Peter. If John Higgins wins the WST Classic, it won't be enough.
John Higgins.
That's how far down he is.
All right, fair enough.
Robertson could still do it at the last gasp, but not John.
Bit further.
Yeah, like kind of around here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, John. Thank you.
Needed a super fine contact and he didn't get it. Yeah, just talking about that 1 year points list, the Tour Championship, the top 8 players on that 1 year list qualify. Robertson at the moment is 20th.
One.
John Higgins, I'm going to surprise you, Peter, 47th on the 1 year list.
Wow.
They say the rankings don't lie. They have there.
Yeah.
That's a whopper. Or maybe not.
John Higgins, 1.
Yeah, and this has been part of the problem for John of late. He's getting himself into winning positions, and I don't know if it's tension, if it's concentration, if it's just confidence. He's just starting to inexplicably miss.
1.
Maybe it's just even Father Time catches up with everyone in the end. He plays so well still for the most part. But what a gift
7.
for Neil Robertson.
By the way, Peter, I've just noticed WST Classic draw. Peter Lyons against Mark Allen, number 1 in the 1 year list. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. He might not even bother coming once he finds out he's playing me again. Yeah, is his Tour Championship card guaranteed? Because he's under pressure.
Oh, it was. It was about 6 months ago, I think. Yeah, you can't even cling on to that
No.
glimmer of hope. Six months is an exaggeration, but 3 months certainly he was always in after he won the UK Championship. Shortly after winning the Northern Ireland Open.
Oh, come on, Phil. Throw me some sort of lifeline.
Well, he won the World Grand Prix as well, so maybe he's tired. There you see.
Thank you, thank you.
Big shot coming up.
21.
Because Robertson can't trickle this. Nicely done.
22.
Yeah, very confidently played. Gotta be careful going into the reds when he finally decides to. Doesn't want the pink spots to open up and then get covered up. Yeah, that's okay though. That's come out
28.
nice.
I can tell you the second match of the evening session on table 2 is underway. Kyron Wilson remains out there to take on Stuart Bingham. Given the way things have shaken up so far, a really important match for both.
29.
As Robertson starts to look like his old self.
Yeah, this looks a little bit awkward, but he's okay because he can just drop this in. There's a couple of reds waiting. across the table and pink on the black spot, so it should be no problem. Yeah, I think we're going all the way,
34.
Phil.
All the way with LBJ.
35.
That was in the 60s in American politics. That was the slogan for Lyndon Baines Johnson when he was running for president. Oh dear me, I've drawn Mark Allen. That's a slogan.
Yeah.
41.
Yeah. I'm not sure what I'm running for. The hills, maybe. Yeah,
42.
nothing to do with the cue ball here for Neil. Still 3 reds in the open. Pink off the spot, we'll put in 43 points in front. Well, he's stopped in his
48.
tracks a little bit. Surely he hasn't snookered himself on the red, just to the left of the pink. No, he's okay. A bit worried for a
49.
second, but it's almost certain to be game over now.
$54.
This looks like being the third match of the day to go to a full 5 frames. I think we'll see plenty of contests in this group go to the wire.
55.
Yeah, so evenly matched, these players.
$61.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear whether John thinks he should have taken the pink in the last frame and
62.
played for the last red. Put all his eggs in one basket or not, or if he would have still played the same shot regardless of the outcome.
Yeah, logically, had the black been a certainty, I could
67.
understand the fact that he wanted to play that for more difficult position. But it was difficult anyway.
$68.
We don't know what went through his mind. What we do know is that he's going into a decider. Robertson now in pursuit of a century.
$74. $75.
Yeah, and all this came from the routine black that John Higgins missed.
Three players at the top of the century list for the season.
81.
All very closely tied up with each other.
82.
No one has got a definitive lead. Those three players are Mark Allen, Neil Robertson, Judd Trump.
$88. $89.
All three of them are in the 40s when it comes to the centuries they've made.
$91. 93.
And Trump and Robertson are in a race to see who will become only the third player to make 900 or more centuries after, in ascending order, John Higgins and, of course, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
96. $100.
Yeah, just had an ominous feel to it
105.
as soon as John missed that black.
$111. $118 and frame. Neil
Robertson back on level terms with aplomb. A break of 118. It was 2-0 to John Higgins. Now it's 2-2. The last couple of frames have been a tale of two black balls. This a re-spotted black for Neil Robertson to win the third frame in dramatic fashion.
Decided frame.
And then
Neil Robertson
in the
to break.
fourth frame, Neil was the beneficiary when John Higgins missed a very routine black off its spot, went nicely in. So 2-2, everything riding on this.
Yeah, and a decent break off. John got to be very careful he doesn't trickle a red over the corner pocket if he plays off the pack. It looks like the one is going to go very close to it. Yeah, luckily he could just avoid the pack. But may have left a shot to nothing, but probably erring on the side of safety anyway. Now then, will Neil take the opportunity to open these reds right up, try and force John into a mistake. A little bit more conservative than I thought, but still he's played it pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent length on the safety.
When you listen to old cricket commentaries, Peter, your fellow Yorkshireman, Fred Truman, was always talking about the importance of good line in length when it came to fast bowling, and exactly the same applies to safety.
Yeah, and I was just about to say, it looks like it's proved dividends, but Neil are very fortunate there that the red has come back away from the pocket and landed on the red closest to the left corner pocket. So it looks like it's just a safety again for Higgins. Yeah, Higgins in a little bit of trouble here. He's got to be careful. He doesn't want to kiss one red onto the red on the black cushion and knock it over the pocket. So, got to tread very carefully here.
His second decider of the day, John Higgins, would love a similar outcome to the first when he beat Stuart Bingham 3-2, making a break of 108 in the fifth frame.
Cagey opening. And can Neil swing it round the angle and get it somewhere near the yellow? Oh, definitely not, is the answer. Although again, I think he's been a little bit fortunate there. Because although the pot seems fairly straightforward, where's the position going to come from?
Yes, it was one of those rare double kisses, wasn't it, that actually helped him.
Yeah, the second kiss just bumping it back out towards the middle pocket. Now I don't see how Higgins can really get out of there and get onto a colour. And if he goes for the red, he's got to be very careful it doesn't take the eye off the pot. Been some excellent safety shots being played so far in this decider.
2.
2 for the price of 1. He would have much preferred 1 red and position. The first red, played for, went in like a rocket. The second one into the same pocket, almost at pocket weight. But nothing doing in terms of the colour.
Yeah, and if anything, he's in a bit of bother now. 2 reds fairly close to the corner pockets. He's got to be very careful here. Got to get that white tight under the rail at the baulk end,
John Higgins, 2.
which he hasn't done. And because he's left it slightly off straight, Neil should be able to just pop this and run off the baulk cushion and back out. Yeah, that's a let off for John Higgins there. Now has he left a shot to nothing, the red below the pink? Can he ever go at clipping this in?
One.
Nicely done from Higgins with a modicum of safety attached, knowing full well a couple of ball colours were waiting there to help.
Yeah, control that nicely. Just
Four.
slip past that red. Leave it into the middle pocket. Still a couple of shots away from making this a decent chance.
5.
Yeah, now if that top red goes,
10.
just pull it back a little bit, get the black back on the spot, and this could really open things up. Yeah, just want it to go a fraction further. Should be okay though.
Len.
Again, just overrun a fraction. Just can't
16.
quite get that cue ball under complete control. Still should get this red in the middle, but always a little bit tricky.
$17.
Now then, should be okay now. Again,
22.
just come too far for one and not far enough for the other. Looks dead straight on the outside one, which is no good to him. Got to be careful when he pulls his back, he doesn't go in off in the middle pocket. Taking the more difficult one of the three.
John against 22.
And there you go, just couldn't get that cue ball under control. Still expected him to get that, but
Walked away from the table with a disgusted expression on his face. What a pot. Deserved a better kiss than that, although Robertson can put Higgins in maximum strife here.
yeah, if you can block off the side cushion as well, force him to go at least
Leave
two
up the
cushions.
side. 1.
Contact made. Whoopee. Ball left on though.
Yeah, it depends what the angle's like as to whether Neil can get through and just run through for the black.
The hesitation tells us all we need to know. He doesn't believe he can hold this. So had to come off the cushion.
1.
All in all, nicely played, but nothing simple from here. That is a Robertson special.
Yeah, trademark long pot.
6.
Needs good cueing again here to screw this back. And didn't get it. Yeah, just mishit it again.
6.
Well, we saw because of the excellent camera angle right down the line of the shot, he cued right across that. One of the worst shots you'll ever see Robertson play.
Yeah, massive reprieve for Higgins.
One.
Now, can he capitalise this time?
6.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if John got the rest out and played the one closest to the cushion. You can just knock it in, come off the cushion an inch or two for the black in the opposite centre and give himself a chance to win the frame in one visit. A much tougher shot, but I think he should get it, so I'll be surprised if he misses it. But he has missed it, I'm afraid.
John Higgins, 6.
It's amazing, Phil, isn't it? He cleared up in the first frame. He looked tremendous, went 2-0 up and it's that chance to win the match, and now he's struggling to get over the line again.
It's not a very nice habit to get into. Far from a straightforward layout for Robertson.
8.
But that doesn't disguise from the fact Higgins will be annoyed. The red we've just seen stayed out.
9.
Yeah, still plenty of snooker left in this weather. Last 4 reds are though now, but Higgins, he had a 20-odd point lead there going into that. He wouldn't have needed nowhere near as many balls. That's a nice shot though, nicely controlled.
16.
I can tell you after the shot. Eventful finish
17.
to frame 1, match 2 of the session on table 2. Karen Wilson potted the yellow at speed, tried to come round off 3 cushions for the green. He only succeeded in seeing the cue ball fly into a top corner pocket, and Stuart Bingham cleared the colours to snatch the frame on the black.
Yeah, both players put a lot of effort into this match. Neither of them will want to lose it now. Especially
24.
John Higgins, knowing he's got to stay on and play again. This is the psychology of the sport.
25.
Yeah, that had a good look before it dropped, and I don't think he's come far enough so he can just roll through for the red, has he? He's trying to just hold, but that is not a good shot. I don't fancy this
32.
one along the cushion. And can't afford to just drop it in because he doesn't want to leave it so it stays over the pocket so Higgins can move the other red in potting this red. So this needs a good shot. Well, that
33.
was tremendous, effortless.
Sweet as a nut.
I'd say it's all about the last red, Phil, but the chances that they both missed, who knows? Will he be tempted by the double?
40.
He's having a look at it. No, just a safety, but played it very well.
Robertson, 40.
You get the impression that's what his opponent would have done in exactly the same situation.
Yeah, again, just want to make some full contact, try and get a bit of distance between the two balls. And don't going off. Ooh. Now then, one good shot from Neil, and should be game over. Wow, I'm a little bit surprised he didn't have a go at that. Although, he's played it very well. That little nick on the brown on the way past just slowed it up enough to be a snooker. Does he fancy this?
Uncomfortable shot, one of those you don't get very often. You're not faced with very often.
Yeah, he doesn't like it. Yeah, and that's why he refused it. Now, can Higgins see it? Can he see enough to get a safety shot in? No, I'm going to swerve it.
What a battle this has been. I didn't know what to expect beforehand. What I didn't expect was a match. Best of 5, bear in mind. That's taken nearly 2 hours.
No, me neither. I thought this would be quick fire. One visit stuff. Another nice kiss for Neil. This time off the green. Yeah, John's last 3, 4, 5 shots have all been just trying to get himself out of trouble and not leave the red on.
One.
That was so well cued, especially for Robertson, being now 18 points ahead. So Brown makes that 22. Yellow and green will see him through. through to victory.
And I think John Higgins will be kicking himself. This one has definitely just somehow got away from him.
5.
He's had enough chances to have won it.
And you can trace it back to when he was clearing up in the third and he refused the pink to middle.
Yeah, I think that was his chance to win it. Never really got a chance after that in that frame.
10.
So contrasting fortunes for John Higgins. Earlier today, he came back from 2-0 down to beat Stuart Bingham 3-2. This time,
14.
he's going to lose 3-2 against Neil Robertson after leading 2-0. Neil Robertson has 2 wins out of 3. Only 1 win out of 3 for John Higgins.